nomination. U.S. Representative Colin Allred. State Senator Gutierrez joins me now to talk more about this. Senator, thanks for joining us on this. First of all, congratulations on your decision to run for U.S. Senate. We are so privileged to be talking to you today. Let's talk history for a moment. The last time a Democrat won a Senate seat in the state of Texas was 1988, I believe. What makes you believe that now is the time that you could take this position?
First off, Yasmin, thank you so much. It's been a while since we've seen each other. And when we met, it was probably one of the worst school shootings in our nation's history, and certainly the worst law enforcement response to a school shooting in our nation's history. This campaign is not just about Uvalde. It's about so many things that are broken in Texas. It's about 800 people that die in a winter storm. My whole life, my parents raised me. I'm the son of immigrants. They raised me to work hard, to do well, and to help others. So you ask, what makes me capable of doing this? I'm going to do what I've done for the last 18 years in public service. I have more experience than both these two gentlemen in getting big things done in Texas, and we're going to continue to do that work.
So what makes you capable, A, but then B, take me one step further. What are you going to do to get Texans to vote blue in your favor, right? If you're looking at approval ratings when it comes to Texas Senator Ted Cruz, in June of 2022, right after Uvalde, he was at 41% approval. 1 year later, he's at 45%. His disapproval ratings really haven't moved much either, from 45 a year ago to 42 right about now. How are you going to get them to vote blue?
Well, I think it's a couple things there, Yasmin. I mean, first off, I've gotten big things done. I created the National Center for Warrior Resiliency so that wounded warriors could wean themselves off of opioids on PTSD. I've created the Farmer Suicide Prevention Act, where the Republican Agriculture Commissioner said we saved 60 lives because of my amendment. We've gotten big things done in Texas. We're going to continue to do that work at our federal legislature. But it is about getting things done. We have to have a real conversation with people all throughout Texas, Latinos along the border in Dallas, Houston, and everywhere else. We have to talk about what's truly ailing us, the high cost of Medicare costs, the high cost of energy, the fact that our energy system and our grid in Texas is completely broken. These are things that Ted Cruz can do and solve and fix, but he refuses. He refuses to do them. We have to have stakeholders and public officials that are simply going to do their job. Don't just talk about it, pretend that you care. Do something. And Ted Cruz really hasn't done a whole lot.
What issues matter to you most, Senator? What are you going to be campaigning on, right? Is it gun violence? Is it abortion rights? What is it?
Well, Yasmin, we have this moment, this happened in Uvalde. I mean, I'll remember it for the rest of my life. I've seen all of the videos. I've seen what these kids had to go through. I've seen the failure of government, and I'll always talk about this. We need common sense gun solutions for sure, but we really need to figure out how we're going to do Medicaid expansion in Texas. Ted Cruz could create legislation to prevent rogue governors like Greg Abbott from keeping Medicaid dollars from working class families. We need to raise the minimum wage in Texas. Across this country, quite frankly, Ted Cruz can do that. We're going to talk about women's reproductive rights for sure, because in Texas, if a woman gets pregnant and has an unwanted pregnancy or gets raped or is a victim of incest, she can't do anything about it. We're going to have a real discussion on those types of issues, and we're going to talk about the grid and everything that's broken here. You can't just, yell about it every week on your podcast. You can't, scare us all with this immigrant horde of this invasion that you claim and yet do nothing about it. When I was a kid, my senator and my congressperson came back down to San Antonio and they said, we did this for this project. We created this many jobs in this hospital. Ted Cruz can't say that because he's never done anything to truly help Texans. Even when it came to when we needed him most, he got on a plane, fled to Cancun. We didn't expect him to go fix the light. We expected him to be here with us.
Before you face off against Ted Cruz, you're going to have to face off against Colin Allred in the primaries. He was endorsed by the Giffords organization for his reelection to Congress. last year, saying Congressman Allred lost 3 friends to senseless acts of violence, channeled his anger and energy into action, and became a civil rights attorney before running for Congress in 2018. What makes you a better candidate, in a better position than Colin Allred right now?
Well, Yasmin, that was his endorsement for Congress. I mean, this is an all-new election. We're talking to Giffords and every other gun group out there, and I think they've seen our work. But again, this is so much bigger than that. We can't talk about, holding hands on bipartisanship when the other side isn't willing to hold hands with us or isn't willing to do anything effective. We've got to be talking to ordinary Texans about what ails them most. And the fact is, people can't make ends meet in Texas. You have to have 2 or 3 jobs in Texas just to make ends meet. That's not freedom. Women have no reproductive rights. I mean, that's not freedom. We're going to have a conversation about that. We can't get common sense gun solution into place where Ted Cruz refuses to sign the Safer Communities Act, refuses to even do anything worthwhile. We don't need him to cry with us. We don't need him to pray with us. We need to actually have him fix the real problems. I'm sure that Mr. Allred is a nice man. I've had a conversation with him one time. But listen, we've been doing this for 18 years. And we've gotten big things done in Texas, and we're going to continue to work for ordinary class Texans to be able to accomplish what's needed best in this state.
Senator, you've been out front of the issues that happened in Uvalde. We spent a lot of time together on the ground there. I wish you the best of luck, sir. I know you as a really good man, and I know you have the best of intentions, and I certainly hope you come back and talk to us throughout your campaign for senator. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.